Hello, hello, hello. Brian Garcia Larson, another episode of BGL F the Odds. Today, I want to talk a little bit about my journey with my health. Health is a tough one. I just did a little chat GPT, which is out of my comfort zone, but we're starting to use some chat GPT. I just asked chat GPT how many American men are either overweight or obese. Here's what it says. It says the most recent data, approximately 77.1% of American men aged 20 and older are either overweight or obese. It says the figures are based on body mass index classifications where a BMI of 2025 or higher. The high persistence indicates more than 3 out of 4 adult men in the US increased excess weight, which can increase the risk of various health conditions, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and other certain cancers. So I know that to be true. I just lost a good friend of mine to a heart attack. He was 35 years old, and we didn't know anything was really wrong with him. I was at the gym this morning, and it really, by the way, I'm in the middle of 75 hard. If those of you that don't know what 75 hard is, I would just Google it. It's more of a mental challenge, but our health is a mental thing. Most people think, oh, you just go to the gym or you got to work out. But how do those things start? It has to start with a desire to make a change. It has to start with a mental aspect of that. This morning I'm at the gym. It's 5:15 Saturday, and I get my 45 minutes of weights out, and I always do an hour of cardio. I'm trying to lose some weight. I'm down 19 pounds in the last 3 months, trying to get myself in shape. I want to live a long, healthy lifestyle. I want to be here for my family. I want to impact other people. And I'm on the treadmill, and I started negotiating with myself at about 25 minutes. Maybe I'll just do 30 minutes today. Maybe I should get back to the office. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. And I start to doubt what I'm going to do, even though I'd already made a decision to be there. And I thought to myself, Brian, that's not how we do things. We've already made a decision. We've taken that decision off of our plate. We do an hour of cardio in the morning. When I got there, I made a commitment to myself. I'm going to lift for 45 minutes, and then I'm going to do an hour of cardio. So I fought myself internally for a few minutes, and then I came to the realization that that wasn't an option. There was no option to have other than to do what I had already decided to do. Making a decision and writing it down. See, I have all my goals written down. They're in my calendar that's what I do every morning. So I took that decision off my plate, but we still, as humans, want to challenge our thought process because we don't feel like it. I can't afford to do it later. I may not have later. I don't think any of us can afford to do it later. If I want to, I was thinking to myself, well, I can just go do another workout later today. How often does that happen? And guess what? If you feel like doing another workout later, do it, but push through the one you're in. So let's back up 3 years ago. I weighed 220 pounds. My testosterone levels were down to 155. I was having a hard time staying awake more than about 6, 7 hours at a time. My energy level was at a zero at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Try running a business and doing things for the community with that kind of energy level. Just wasn't going to happen. So I had to make a commitment. I started going through trying to figure out how I was going to take control of my own health. Me personally, I don't really trust our health system in this country. I feel like they just want to medicate people. Like you're borderline diabetes, they just put you on metformin. And now you're a diabetic in your medical records, even though you may not be because you're on medication for diabetes. I knew that, and my doctor was telling me I had high blood pressure. Well, it's borderline high blood pressure, but they wanted to put me on that. My cholesterol was at about a 135 total, or I'm sorry, 235 total. So of course they wanted to put me on that medication. And I stopped my doctor and I said, I'm not doing any of those things. And she goes, Brian, if you don't start taking these medications, you're not gonna be around very long. I said, I'll take care of it. And that's when I made a decision that I was gonna figure out how to take care of my body. Growing up as an athlete, I knew how to take care of my body, but as we get older and life happens and we lose desires, we don't have goals, we're not going after a fitness goal or we're not going after a sporting thing that we want to do. And I really applaud people that are runners, right? Like they're always looking towards the next race. That's what keeps them going. That's what keeps them motivated to keep running. And I thought to myself, there's a lot of things that I want to do in my life, but I got to be healthy and I got to stick around to do it. So I went and sought after a naturopath. And this is just what I did, right? You got to figure out what's best for you. But I was 20 pounds, 5'10", and my doctor just got done telling me I'm obese and that I have to make a change or I'm not going to live to tell my story to anybody. High blood pressure, low testosterone, high cholesterol. So I go to this naturopath and I go, I got to get my testosterone up under control so that I have enough energy to even start doing anything. I was at a point where I was having a hard time even walking a mile in the park without being so winded and my body hurt. So I got pellets to try to get that. My body rejected the pellets. I have massive scars on my tush, what do you want to call it? Um, because my body rejected the pellets and it pushed them out. I currently give myself testosterone shots every Friday. Not my favorite thing. I'm terrified of needles, but guess what? My health is more important to me than a stupid needle. I want to be here for my wife and my kids. My wife deserves better than having a tired husband at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we finally, after 2 years, a year ago, got that under control to where my testosterone levels were good, my cortisone levels were good, and I started working out about a year ago. Became very intentional about the gym. And when I started, I loved being an athlete. I loved going to the gym and it made me feel good, but I wasn't in a good place in my life to be going to the gym and pushing myself to make myself feel good. Still didn't like what I saw in the mirror. I didn't like how I felt. I was still exhausted just even showing up some days. So I told myself, Brian, 80% of life is just showing up. Just start showing up. I don't care if what you do when you get to the gym, as long as you do something for a minimum of 10 minutes. Some days I worked out for an hour. Some days I was there for 15 minutes because I just felt so crappy. But I wanted to get my brain ready to say this is what we do every morning. And I only missed three days of the gym the last 9 months of last year. January 12th of this year, I started doing 75 hard. I'm on day 98. Yes, I know that's more than 75 days. My birthday's next week, and I wanted to do a 102-day challenge to my 52nd birthday. It's just a personal thing that I wanted to do for myself. So what 75 hard is no alcohol. If you know me, I grew up in the Midwest. We drink light beer like it's Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, whatever. Not a big deal. I love whiskey. I love old fashions. I said, you know what? If we're gonna make a change, we're gonna do it the right way. So I knocked out all the alcohol in my system. I haven't had a drink in 90, 98, 99 days. I cut out all processed sugars of added sugars. So the only sugars that I've had in the last 3 months has been natural sugars in fruit, things like that, honey, but no additional added sugars. I'm down 19 pounds. I'm down four inches on my waist, and I've gained quite a bit of muscle mass because I'm working out every day and I'm consistent with the game plan. But I do believe that the 9 months prior to my challenge is what's helped me do my challenge because I set the stage for what I expected of myself before the challenge started. The challenge has not been that difficult, to be honest. because I was already doing part of the challenge before I started the challenge, and in my brain, I had already completed it when I started it. I had already visualized seeing what my body would look like today versus 3 months ago. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm sure on the way. I have people coming up to me that haven't seen me in 6 months, like, what have you been doing? Oh my gosh, you don't look like the same person. And I'm probably not, I probably don't look like the same person, but I'm not the same person mentally either. Because even though I questioned myself this morning on the treadmill, hey, can we do this? Or hey, we could just do it later. That thought came through my head and it went right back out because I knew that's not what I do. I just knew that we made commitments to ourselves and we got to keep them. I feel like this challenge has been just a game changer for me. I feel that I'm the healthiest that I've been in 35 years since I was an athlete in high school. And it's really hard to describe the transformation that's happened in such a short period of time, but it just came down to a decision and a commitment. And now my testosterone levels are good. I just had full blood panel. My total cholesterol was 174. It hasn't been 174 since I don't know that it's ever been that low. And I feel like this is just the beginning of my journey because I've taken out all the junk. I've been meal prepping all my foods, so everything that's going into my body is things that I've made, and I know where I got it and what's in it and how it's cooked. And I don't even crave McDonald's. I trust me, I loved me some McDonald's. But I don't even I used to love candy bars. I used to love candy, Skittles and uh Starburst. Boy, that was my jam. We had uh we had a big concession stand this year that we hosted for a track meet and that I was in charge of getting all the stuff for, and I didn't have one moment where I like, man, I'd sure love to have a Snickers bar right now. And it's because I've gotten myself used to the new set of standards that I've set for myself. And the food tastes different now. I mean, stuff that I didn't really care for so much before, I'm like, man, that tastes so good. Sweet potatoes to me are like, I didn't really care for them that much before, but just eating a lot cleaner, I feel like if you can just make a decision on what you really want, our health has a lot to do with our mental, of how we handle our business, how we handle our lives, how we show up for our family, our spouses, our kids. And I just urge all of you, like, if you're not in a good place physically, like, just make a decision. Make a decision that you can do this. I know it's hard. I saw somebody at the gym this morning that had to be over 400 pounds. And I just wanted to go over and say, man, keep going. You got this. It makes me so excited to see somebody like that at the gym because I know they want more for themselves. They're fighters, they're champions. And who cares how they got there or what happened? Like, we all go through life, right? The lessons and the loss, right? We had to have done something or been in a bad place or let ourselves go or taken our eye off the ball or whatever it is. So what? Let's start again. So I hope this was a little helpful. Hit me up with any questions of, whatever that looks like for you, but just take control. Just make a decision of what you really want, what you want your health to be. If you're on a bunch of medications and you want to get off of them, then just go to work. Make a game plan. Start walking, even if you're walking 10 minutes a day. Start somewhere and just 1% better each day. Just get yourself 1% better each day. I promise you at the end of 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, 12 months, you're going to look up and you're not going to recognize the person that you used to be. So go do that for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your spouse. Do it for your kids. But just do it. I want you to live the best possible life that you can live, and you got to be present. And you got to feel good to do it. That's all I got for you today. Go be great today.